Hello, everyone. We are halfway through our Mercury retrograde this week in Virgo, and man, has revolution, resolution, both have been incredibly present this past week. Here's my Mercury retrograde in Virgo coming out. This week could not have been better planned by the universe. We only have two direct aspects, and I don't know about y'all, but it's been a humdinger so far at the beginning of this September with those resolutions or revolution energies, which we're all going to get into. So you have joined Twitchy Tuesdays, where we are thriving live once per week. We do this all here, discuss astrology, pull some tarot. All of it is to help everyone make the most out of these celestial events and get guidance. So let's get into what we've got this week. We have only two, like I said. It's probably going to be a pretty quick one, which is great because, as you can see, I don't know if you see the eyes. I got all of the allergies are showing up this week already. So here's what we have: 9/6. Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Virgo. That is right. It's the halfway point. It is the Cazimi. That halfway point happens at 13 degrees, 37 minutes. And then just 2 days later, 9/8, we get the sun in Virgo trining Jupiter retrograde, now retrograde in Taurus at 15 degrees, 33 minutes. So that's it. Twitchy Tuesday done. You're welcome, everybody. Just kidding. We've got some things to talk about. I definitely have the tarot that we're going to pull as we begin to talk. But from a planetary aspect perspective, it is a very calm week. And we talked about this. We talked about this last week, where even coming into the last week in August, coming into September isn't jam-packed with a lot of energetic shifts, which we need, because we are clearing out. We are really getting to the nitty gritty. That Virgo energy is working us hard, and we're trying to dive in to get resolution or revolution on a plethora of things happening in our life. So that's where I actually want to start, is in the resolution or revolution, and kind of what day 5 today. We've had 4.5 days so far of September. And I already have a stamped my bingo card for resolution and revolution. Got those two stamps down, ready to go. And I want to know who else is with me. Has anyone else in the Twitchy Tuesday community, whether you're on the replay crew, whether you're watching on X or on Twitch, have you also had some sort of resolution or revolution, or both? I had both already happened so far. What did that look like for you? And how have you been? Was it expected? Was it something that was kind of unexpected? For me personally, super unexpected. It was, oh, okay, pivot. That's where we're going. We love the pivots. And it was both in the space of a few hours. Like I said, humdinger is the best word that I could use to associate with my two bingo stamps that I got. What was really cool, though, and what I wanted to talk through as it pertains to this, in case maybe this hasn't been your experience in the first couple of days. Whoop, what did we get? We got the 7 of Wands. So wanted to bring up the reactions. What happened? What was my process as I went through all of this? What did I learn? What did I gain? What things did I need to adjust? So first off, I saw my reactions. I was able to clearly walk myself through, okay, I hear you. I hear my internal thoughts. I hear what they're saying. I got fucked hard going, right? I've got my inner saboteur just on point, already hitting with the things. And I felt in my body where I felt it. Where did I feel it at? Like, I was tired, lethargic. I felt it a lot in my shoulders. And I saw how quickly, though, I was able to redirect to growth. I saw very quickly back to this 7 of Rods. I saw very quickly where I got to see what was possible, where I have changed. My reaction time has changed. My ability to ebb and flow and adjust has changed. And I was able to bring it all the way back to, what are my goals? What are my values? And what are we working towards? And those three questions, just that quick level set on, all right, this is happening. It's happening whether I want it to happen or not. So let's get that out of the way. And then what are my goals and values? And what are we working towards? And ultimately, there are Ace of Swords getting that gift of clarity very quickly during this time. They're on unlimited roads to Zion. There is no absolute one way to accomplish the things that you're working towards. And just because, like, again, that goes back to going back to what is the overall goal. Just because, you know, this path that you were on doesn't work out doesn't mean that the other path isn't already there to get to where you are going. So unlimited roads to Zion, that was a little bit about my past weekend and how I kind of navigated yesterday and all of that. So again, I would love to hear from the community, love to hear from the Twitchy Tuesdays community if you've seen that for yourself. And what did you witness? What were things that came up for you? All right. So let's get to this week. We've got the sun very active. The sun is in Virgo. We've got Jupiter active. Jupiter's in Taurus. And then we have Mercury active. Mercury is in Virgo. So I want to talk a little bit about this Taurus and Virgo activation that we're going to be going through. And I am going to go ahead and there we go, get the cards, because I already know they've already been flying as I was doing things and getting ready for this. So we'll get the cards out early and see what other messages we have. So Taurus and Virgo chart activation. For those of you that know your natal chart, or have a natal chart or whatnot, you really want to look and see what houses Taurus and Virgo are in. Now, Taurus has been being activated all year, so that shouldn't be a big surprise as to what's happening and where your Taurus house is. Virgo's kind of a little bit of a newer energy, right? With the sun, the Mercury, like we are just getting into Virgo season. So that might be a new space that hasn't really been lit up for you over the last couple of months. And so now it's time to really look into, okay, this week, the sun is making both of these aspects. So the sun is illuminating something. It's bringing something to light, to the forefront, into your ability to, because it is in Earth, the ability to see it on a level plane. It's not cryptic, right? It's not fuzzy or diluted in any sort of way. It is here and it's showing you something. And this is the week for me where I think we could be at different stages. We got two that came out. We got Knight of Pentacles and the Strength card came out. This to me could be a week where we are at different stages of implementation in getting to resolution or revolution. We could be at different stages of ideation, getting that to be able to be implemented into our lives, being able to bring in things. And so I really want to, and I love, these are two very different energies, right? We have the Strength and the Knight of Pentacles, and how they're used in this different stage of ideation, of implementation of our ideas, of what we're working towards. And I want to use the analogy of 75 hard during this, since that is fresh. I just completed that, but just to help kind of ground it. So if you just started something, you may begin this week to see some sort of pattern emerge. So I look at this as the Knight of Pentacles. If this is a brand new idea, brand new habit, brand new manifestation that you're working on. This week could really show a pattern of something or give insight into the next steps. From a 75 hard for the analogy, what that could look like is this is the week where you clean out the pantry. The pantry is clean. Maybe you've already started this new habit. And I started 75 hard. My fridge looks clean. My pantry looks clean. It's got all the things out of it that I don't need anymore. And I can begin this journey all the way down. Maybe I did my very first grocery run after I've started 75 hard. And I successfully was able to implement getting those things into my fridge. And not buying, like, I stayed on the perimeter of the grocery store instead of going into the middle section. So there can be a lot of pride, a lot of like accomplishment within this, right? You might have accomplished the first week of a long-term goal. You might have gotten the initial steps taken care of. And it's also a little bit about feelings around this week. So what feelings brought up? Like typically with 75 hard, the first week, and this has just been my personal experience, it was tough, but it was like, I'm doing this. I'm committed. I made that commitment. I am atop this steed making this commitment. I will not be budged. And yeah, I was sore the first week. Yeah, it was like, all right, I got to adjust this. Okay, I had a little bit of a headache because I, wasn't drinking as much caffeine as I normally would or whatnot. But I'm starting to see, okay, this is possible. Okay, yep, I got this. Okay, we're actually doing it. All right, I am fully committed here. Then there could be ideas and implementation things that you're in this middle stage of everything, which I'm going to get one more card for. So what is the middle stage? What card represents this middle stage in this Taurus and Virgo area for us? Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. Perfect. So Queen of Pentacles now for the middle stage. So here we have, you have been working on something, right? Maybe this is now you're in the second 30 days of your 75 hard. You've been working on things and now you are actually seeing the fruits of your labor, your tangible changes start to take place. Okay, I'm actually seeing what is possible. I see, look at all of these beautiful roses all the way around this card. They're blooming. They're coming to fruition. So from a 75 hard, the analogy perspective, you start seeing it in your daily picture. Maybe you're weighing yourself once a week. You start seeing the weight come down. You start noticing like, oh, I'm a little more toned in my arms. Oh, hold on. My clothes is fitting me a little bit differently. Hold on a second. I'm liking what is happening right now. Maybe your walk is simpler. Maybe your exercises are a little simpler. You're like, oh shit, what? I got to go up another 5 pounds. I'm not using 10s no more. We're doing 15s, baby. This is it. This is what we're working towards. Okay, shit is paying off. I like this. I can sit on this throne and be like, all right, okay, this is what I needed. I needed this little extra juice of energy, seeing the results of what I am doing. So that could be a stage that you're in this week where you're starting to actually notice what is coming up with the work that you have been doing. Then we have another stage of implementation, which is exactly where the Strength card comes in from. This is where you are close to completion and you can see the finish line. And the reason why for me Strength is very, very relevant here is because it takes strength and courage and perseverance and dedication to cross that finish line. It takes deep diligence. It takes taming that beast inside of you that's like, well, I've gone this far. So, I mean, what's the difference right now? It's where this moment where you can taste the success And this is that time that you have to be even more diligent. I know this last 75 hard, the last week, the last 5 days, I was overly hyper diligent in what I was doing, because this is where, when you start to get comfortable, this lion comes in and actually does bite your arm. Oh, I'm so used to playing with this lion. We forget that the lion is still a beast. It is still an animal. It is still, like, you see it all the time, right? With people that keep lions and tigers and high predators as pets. That does not prevent them from still getting attacked. You got comfortable. You forgot that you were living with a wild animal. You forgot that you were living with an animal that has supernatural instincts that will overcome however much they love you. Do they even truly know what that concept is, right? And what it means. So it's this time where comfort is not what you're seeking right now. You're seeking completion. If you were seeking comfort, the strength wouldn't need to be here. We could go back to this Queen of Pentacles being all cozy up in her chair. We're not seeking comfort. I want to close this out. This is Virgo activation. This needs to get off my list. I want it done. So we're seeking completions. And I put this in. I'm glad strength is here to, like, how we get there. But this reminded me of the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. I don't want the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is just like, things are blooming. I can harvest if I want to. I'm cozy. I'm cozy with all of my riches. I'm cozy with all of my wine. I want the Ten of Pentacles. I want the completion of everything. And how we get there is through that strength card, through that courage, watching out for laziness, watching out for the fuck it mentality in that lower vibratory way, where it's not like, fuck it, I'm going to rock this till the end, but fuck it, I don't need to worry. I went this far. We didn't go this far just to come this far. Did not go this far to come this far. So these are the 3 different stages that this Taurus Virgo activation that the sun's illuminating, you could find. And given the fact that this is Mercury and Jupiter retrograde, really be able to ascertain, discern, think through, relook at each of the things that you're working on, and where are you within these 3 processes. Are you just seeing something start, which is now, here we go with the Knight of Pentacles, having that vision, getting it started, excited about it, putting things into place where they need to be in order to go out on that campaign? Or are you working on something and you're starting to see the tangible changes break through? You're starting to feel like, okay, this is possible. I can make this happen. Or do you need a little of that lion energy, that strength, that courage to make sure that you finish, you actually go to all the way to completion? So this is a great week to have this kind of conversation with yourself and break each of these things down. All right. The next thing that I have that ties together with this week, again, Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Virgo happening on 9/6, 13 degrees, 37 minutes. And then just 2 days later on 9/8, the Sun in Virgo trine Jupiter retrograde in Taurus at 15 degrees, 33 minutes. The last thing that I have to tie together these 2 aspects this week is what we grounded in on last week, which was our debts coming due. I was listening. What podcast was I listening to? Hold on. It will come to me. Hopefully it will come to me, because there was an astrologer and I loved it so much. Woo. All right. Well, we've got lots of things coming out. King of Swords. We've got the King of Cups. Woo. King of Cups and the Hanged Man. Again, the name is escaping me, but the astrologer that I was listening to said Virgo season is the season for receipts. I loved that. I love that so much because it's so true. And this is where like the debts are coming due. And this may be where you got the receipts to call in these debts. I look at this as like the King of Swords and the King of Cups, right? You have the receipts to call in these debts. You're hey, all right, here's what I need. Here's why I need it. You're doing it with integrity. You're doing it in emotional fortitude. You're doing it standing strong, standing in your power, having those healthy boundaries. Or the Fool and the Hangman, other people got receipts on you and they come and do. So that is what I wanted to talk about. And again, this came out of our last moon, the Pisces full moon. And that was during that moon overview, this kind of conversation about debts are coming due. And in Virgo season, in this month of blissful September, where things are a little more tempered with the ebb and flow of energies, this is a great time to check off all of those debts. We've got Mercury's Cazimi. We're halfway through the Mercury retrograde. So if you've had this conversation already with somebody, again, the King of Swords, King of Cups, or somebody is having it with you, the Hanged Man and the Fool, it is time to energetically clear space. It's time to get all of these things, the static energy that's weighing us down off of our plate. It is what Virgo is all about with the Sun and Mercury retrograde here. What debts are due and how do we begin to rectify, resolve, and create revolution or resolution on each of them? So that could look like King of Swords. What type of like actual conversations need to be had right now? Whether that's with yourself or with others. Maybe going back to where are you at within these processes, maybe you need to have a conversation, or maybe that conversation is already done. Maybe another one needs to happen. With the King of Cups, what type of emotions are coming up out of this? How are you handling it? What are things that need to be resolved in a way that, again, I get the word integrity with this card. That's the word that's coming in really strong. That maintains your own integrity with where you're going. Some of these conversations, some of these debts, some of these receipts may not be as easy as you thought that they were going to be, or may be very challenging conversations with others. It is not easy to talk about money. It is not easy to talk about things that need to change. It is not easy to talk and set boundaries. It's not easy because we're not in the practice of doing it over and over and over again. So again, it is also a wonderful time to Venus, and I know Venus isn't in this conversation this week, but with her stationing direct, she is at 12 degrees for like 7 days after her station direct on Sunday. I want to say it was Sunday. And that is something that, you know, she is taking her time. Allow for that patience to settle in. Allow for the information to come. This is that Hanged Man energy. Allow for the insights to be brought forth in a timely fashion. That, okay, I'm acknowledging that there are debts that are due, but I am consciously making a plan, Mercury retrograde in Virgo, to begin to rectify, resolve, have that revolution or resolution, really making it something that is tangible, but that requires a little bit of thought. That requires a little bit of, okay, don't pop off, but let's actually put some mindfulness around there. And one of the things that I think is really interesting, and again, this always makes me wonder if there is an astrologer that, you know, leads or is consulted during times like in the government, etc. But I think it is very interesting that in September started the interest rates for student loan debts again. So this is kind of tying it into how this looks from the broader perspective. So in the United States, we have been since 2020, we have been under a student loan debt pause due to COVID, due to the changing economic situation, etc. And student loan debts now are beginning to have interest rates be charged on them again in September, with October being the first payments due that you actually have to make, you're obligated to make, starting in October. That's very interesting to me. That here's this September, we're in Virgo season. These are debts, right? They are actual debts. The government, if you have student loan debt, has your receipt for that, and it is coming due. They're waving the flag like, hey, we're going to start this again. So what are you doing, the fool? What are you doing to get on this journey again? This is a new journey, right? This is, okay, we've been on pause for 3 years. What does the journey look like now? And it will look different than when you were paying 2020 prior. It's going to look different. What you're eligible for is going to look different. You are a different human than you were in 2020. So what does that look like now? And this is where that Mercury, Virgo, and the sun is illuminating. What do you need to do to start rectifying that debt? Do you need to call the company? Do you need to set up a repayment plan? Do you need to update your debit card? Do you need to... Mercury can help you check all of these things off. Have you moved? Has your name changed? All of that has to be rehashed and reorganized, and make sure that you're in getting that. I don't know, maybe a revolution will happen for everybody with student loan debt with the government between now and then. Who knows? We can always hope. But there needs to be some sort of resolution coming out of that if this is a situation that rings true for you. And then we want to talk about the different kinds of debts, right? There are health debts. And when I look at health debts, I go straight to the King of Swords. Gut health, especially, we're in Virgo, right? It's a lot. There could be a lot of gut things. You could have a debt to yourself on your health. Have you gotten your blood work done? Have you gone and gotten a physical in a while? How are you feeling? Do you need to go to the chiropractor? Do you need to set up appointments for an acupuncturist? Do you need to get your body moving again, right? Like, is it health in a physical sense? Like, do I need to start walking again? Do I need to implement something? Do I need to change my diet now that we're headed to a new season? We're almost going to be in Mabon where fall comes. So do I need to incorporate now more stews, more squashes, and things that really align with this time of year, especially up in the Northern Hemisphere? And then we've got digital debts. And these are just all little things inside, just for us, right? We've got these digital debts like our subscriptions. Do you know how many subscriptions you have? Are you still using them? Do you need to cancel them? We've got digital banks. We've got digital currency. We've got phone storage. We've got credit cards. All of these little debts, even though you may not think about them on a day-to-day basis, this is what Virgo energy is trying to get you to see, especially a Mercury retrograde in Virgo, especially the sun illuminating these areas. What are these debts that you don't think about often, but are taking up energetic space for you, that need to be reorganized, resolved, rectified in some way, so that way you can clear that space for October, for the rest of fall, for as we go through fall and into winter, into these the darker half of the year. And then Jupiter makes everything bigger. So if you already had, let's just say you're working on debt. I'm working on trying to find a way to come up with more money to pay these student loans. Example. Jupiter is going to make that balloon out, make it even bigger, whatever the situation is, make you feel it more, make you own it more, make it very much more prevalent. And then it's like, oh, Yeah, there's companies for that. I can call them. Oh, I've got like $150 in subscriptions monthly. Let me go ahead and rearrange that. You will see it if it is there, right? Like that's what the sun is asking is look at me, look at where all these things are at. What I love about these four cards, the King of Swords, King of Cups, Hangman, and the Fool, is how the Hangman and the Fool came out, which is like there is an essence of listening to yourself, like sitting down, not feeling overwhelmed by all the things that are out there, but really taking that moment to temper and pause. Know that you can do it. All things are possible. There are 100 roads to Zion, right? Millions of ways there, but some sort of action has to be taken. Something new something got to change. Something new's got to come in. Something refreshed, something with a new mindset. There's something else that needs to happen. So, moment of pause, but know that action is needed too. The other type of debts. We've got adulting debts. We all adult, right? Like this is my debt. I still got my passport hanging out there. It's a debt of mine. I know I got to get it out. It's got to get out before October. Groceries can be a debt, right? An overwhelming debt that you've got to deal with. Tasks, like your menial tasks, like, I need toilet paper, or I gotta go and clean my dishes, or like laundry's piling up. Oh, we've got clothes on the floor, etc., etc. We've got house cleaning. It is fall. We talk a lot always, right? What's the word? Spring cleaning. What about fall cleaning? How do you get ready for the winter season? There is a significant part of the world that actually does go to winter. I know that there's a significant part of the world that winter means, okay, cool 80s. Cool, awesome. But there are things that you have to prepare for winter. Winter is coming, right? So how do you prepare for that? Where do you have enough long sleeves? Do you have your jackets, your pants, etc.? So there's like these little adulting things, just, being human things that you got to do. And those can be little debts. So it's really taking the time this week to understand your debts and where you're at with those debts can really be helpful in how you navigate once this Fool energy gets activated and you're actually taking the action that you need to take. Because what it's truly asking you is, can you sit here today and tell yourself that you have the space, the time, and the capacity to hold the blessings that are waiting in queue for you? Whatever your biggest manifestation that you're working on right now, even all of them, just quite frankly, can you truly look at yourself and truly be honest with yourself and say that I have space, time, and capacity to actually bring all of those things in right at this moment? Are you in the right mindset to hold your blessings right now? If you're super overwhelmed and everything is piling up, you've got to clear that out. So that way, that mindset is, I do have space and capacity. I do have time. I can go into this next level. So that is our habitual sages for the week. Let's get my twitchy tip of the week, and then we will clear space and we're going to get out of here. So twitchy tip of the week. As this week progresses, remember your AMAGs. Analyze, maintain, adjust, and grow. And through it all, keep it simple. This will help you. This AMAGs, this little framework, can help you to see where you are at. All of the conversations we had during this Twitchy Tuesday can help you see where you are at. But it only works if you're honest with yourself. Must be honest with yourself, must get that King of Swords, since it was still out, that King of Swords energy, have that integrity with the King of Cups, come up with a plan, the Hanged Man, come up with a plan, and then keep going, the Fool. That was so brilliant. Look at that, just flowed right through that. The other twitchy tip for this week, the sun is helping to activate our incoming messages this week, right? Like there's downloads, Mercury retrograde, Jupiter retrograde, this hanged man energy. There is things that are coming in. So use the sun. Use this week if you are a little kind of stuck or not really sure where to begin, or like, I know there's something there. I just don't know how to get there. Let the sun help you. Go commune with the sun. Be out in nature during the daylight. Go journal in the park. Go smile at the sun. Say good morning to it. Take a joyride. Allow the sun to beam on you during the day. Shower outside. Go for a swim in the lake or the river with the sun shining on you. Go for a walk. Something super simple. It could just be go sit in your chair on your balcony outside, on your porch, whatever you got. But go get in the sun. Allow the sun to illuminate those messages for you. If you're feeling a little more hanged man than you are the fool. All right, that is Twitchy Tuesdays for this week. Let's clear space and head out. So super exciting tomorrow. We are premiering on that's tomorrow, 9/6/2023. The Wake Up Squad is presenting Soulful Horizons on KCEP Power 88.1 in Las Vegas. That is going to feature myself and Princess P to give you a little bit of astrology, a little bit of alignment. I'm very, very excited about this. Go and check it out if you are in Las Vegas. Again, that's 88.1 with the Wake Up Squad. And that is happening at 6:35 a.m. Pacific time and 8:35 a.m. Pacific time. And if you aren't in Las Vegas, but you still want to check it out, you can check that out on power88lv.com. Next up, September, we going to be live a lot next week. We're going to be live 3 times next week. So we'll have our normal Twitchy Tuesdays. That is occurring on the 12th. So that will be our normal everyday schedule, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. But then that week, since September, I'm traveling, we will have Friday and Saturday that week at 2:30 p.m. Central. So that's the 15th and 16th. We will be going live to talk about the following week's Twitchy Tuesday and as well do the May Bond special, where we'll be talking about May Bond, talking about our next Sabbath in the Sabbath series, and doing a full tarot reading for fall equinox, the autumn equinox. So if you head to YouTube right now, you're going to find out that you can just hit that notify me button and boom, you'll be notified when we go live. If you have already been following me, I really appreciate you for that. Thank you so much for being part of this community and helping this community grow and thrive. And if you want to support, either buy a follow, that would be awesome, or you can support in a different way by buying me a coffee. You can find that link, scrolling right there, buying me a coffee. What you're actually doing is you're helping me achieve my wish list items. Definitely want to get solar fire so that way we can incorporate a lot of charts in here, bring in charts. I can show natal charts and show how, just kind of dive into the conversation a little bit more. Plus, who doesn't want new decks? I want new decks. So buy me a coffee, link below. Really appreciative of that. And the last thing is we kept the intentions going in September. So on X exclusively, I am posting the intention of the day, the incense, and the vibe of the day. Those vibes go onto a playlist on Apple Music, and we just add on in September. However, August is done. So that whole playlist is rocking. I think it's like 5 hours of music that you can just hit shuffle on and just get into the vibes on. So there's other playlists on there as well. If you've been looking for some new tunes, looking for some new vibes, I got you right here. Or you can head over to Apple Music, type in your search bar, Habitual Sages, all one word, and it will take you right to my profile. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Love you. See you next time.